Thank you. For a lot of Canadians, going on vacation doesn't always mean leaving your family pet at home. A lot of us take our pets with us, whether by choice or necessity. One of those Canadians happens to be our travel journalist, Loren Christie. Loren might just have the most well-traveled dogs you've ever met. Cleo and Cairo have been all over France. They've been all over Spain. Of course, they've been all over Canada. And this morning, they are all over us here in the studio, which I'm so happy about, Loren. Okay, everybody, meet. Okay, so we've got Cairo and Cleo. They're so well behaved. They didn't bark once.
So far.
But that's key, right? Like, how well trained do your dogs have to be if you want to travel with them?
It helps.
Yes. Okay, so I do want to give a shout out to Stormy, because your cat.
Yes, also has traveled.
Has also traveled. I think we've got a shot of Stormy. I didn't know that you and Kelsey's old cat was named Stormy too.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's Stormy, beautiful. So Stormy's not here with us, but Stormy travels with you guys as well. So let's start with the basics. If you are traveling, that's a great picture, by the way, with your cat or your dog, what do you need to know?
The very basics are the carrier. Make sure they're used to the carrier before you get in there. Particularly a cat can get stressed out. So think about putting a blanket or a piece of clothing in there just so they get used to the scent. If you're going to think about using sedatives, check with the vet first. These guys don't need it, some might, but check with the vet. Feed and water 4 hours before you check in is always an interesting one. For me, that's our rule, but it might be subjective to your dog. But the point being, figure out that fine line between when they won't go hungry or thirsty and when they need to go to the bathroom. But 4 hours is a good rule of thumb, but other people have different ones. And exercise your pet before flying. As in life, a tired pet is a happy pet.
Right. So are the dogs with you in your seat?
So
how does that work?
These dogs, that's a great question. So the rules right now that are there, and as of June 1st, if you want to take a dog on board, you now have to have a soft-sided carrier on Air Canada. That's different. It used to be hard, but it depends on the size. These guys Cleo is too big. Cairo, in a pinch, you could put him underneath the seat. We don't travel much with them on plane. We did to France. That was when we went to Europe. But the carrier should be 40 by 43 by 21. And the dog has to be able to stand up and turn around. And the other thing I think is really important to remember when you think about traveling with your animals is the heat and time of year. There's a lot of places that are blacked out because of the heat. And certain dog breeds you can't put underneath because of the heat. Ones with breathing problems like pugs and bulldogs and boxer terriers. But at the end of the day, I would say my personal opinion is I don't like to travel this time of the year because of the heat with the dogs. I try to, if you're going to put the dog underneath on a plane, if they're that big, I would think about fall or spring.
Loren, these dogs are beautiful. Look at them. They're just like posing for the camera. Amazing. Okay, so if a place says pet friendly, what does that mean exactly? Could it mean different things for different places? It really
means different things. I literally stayed at a hotel two months ago, and they said pet friendly. When I got there on arrival, they said, oh, you have to sign this waiver saying that they'll be in a crate the entire time they're in their room. It's like, that's not pet friendly to me. So I was like, bad. So I would make sure that you check that. There's ways to do it. Marriott Hotels, for example, has an app that you can check and search for pet friendly hotels. Two of their brands, Westin and Aloft, are particularly pet friendly. They waive the pet cleaning fees for you. They have amenities for your dogs.
Really?
And Aloft's program is called Animals Are Fun, ARF, which I even love more.
Wait, do that again?
ARF. It's called ARF. And then out on the West Coast, they have Hotel Z, and the Accent Inns are really good. They will let you have animals of any shape, size, reptiles, birds, you name it. Their most frequent guest is a llama named Tony.
No way.
Totes. So those are good ones. And then in terms of destinations, just search online. Like Halifax has a patio program, PEI, which will list businesses where you can take your dogs onto the patio, or even businesses where you can go in.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we travel just north of the city, so you know, in no traffic, it's like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and sometimes on the way back we want to stop for dinner. And so we've now sort of like highlighted which patios that we can go to because we're always with our dog.
But I like the programs when they indicate with on a map, and so you can see as you're planning out your day as a tourist with a dog.
100%. Okay, so you've traveled a lot with your, I'm going to call it your animal kingdom. You've learned some lessons along the way.
Yeah, some hard ones.
Yeah,
you know,
tell me.
Make sure that you have multiple labels on your carrier. I would include now these days maybe an AirTag or a GPS tracker. We actually, with our former dogs, we had a dog left behind once on a flight from Toronto to Moncton. And so thank goodness we had put her name all over. So when we finally got in touch with the airport person that had it, they knew her name. We had put an empty water dish in the carrier so that they could feed her some water. So learn that lesson the hard way, did it, and glad we did. The other thing I'd like to do is when you go in and check your dog in, they will put a hard plastic tie on the carrier if it's going underneath to make sure that it's secure. Well, the first time I arrived, I didn't have any way of getting that plastic tie off. So pack scissors in your check bag, but I
course.
put it in a side back pocket, so it's the first thing I can grab out, cut that tag off, and get the dog out so they can get some air. But it was very frustrating the first time to not be able to do it. And then, of course, always pack a leash. We brought the cat home once, and I don't have a leash for the cat, but you have to take the animal out when you go through security. So I'm telling you, that cat, Storm, she was off to the bar. I need to like hold on to her for dear life. So I now have a cat leash after learning that the hard way.
Okay. And did you like what we did for you in the green room? Can I just show you what happened? So you get into the green room. This is one of the weirdest things. So we have these weird things in the green room, but look, they match your dogs.
Yes, who were almost called Polar and Panda before we went with Cleo and Cairo.
So wild. Thank you for the great tips. Look, they love it. They're like, who are these people? We'll be right back, everybody.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.